Hi, I'm James, and today we're looking at a jet that brought British aviation screaming into the modern age, quite literally. Meet the Gloucester Meteor T7 VZ634, now proudly on display in the Newark Air Museum. This sleek twin-engine trainer might look a little clunky by today's standards, but back in the 1940s, it was the future. It's the RAF's first serious attempt to turn propeller pilots into jet jockeys. The Gloucester Meteor was originally developed during World War II and was the first British jet fighter to enter service. And yes, it did actually see combat during the Second World War, mainly against German V-1 flying bombs, where its speed was so important. But VZ634 is a T7 model, created post-war as a trainer, not a frontline fighter. Inside, you've got seating for two, a student and an instructor. And here's where it gets interesting. Only one seat came with an ejection system. Guess who got that seat? Yeah, the instructor. Because nothing builds confidence. Well, perhaps not confidence, but skill, like knowing your teacher can instantly launch to safety while you're still inside the aircraft. Now, it's powered by two Rolls-Royce Derwent 8 centrifugal flow turbojet engines. Each produce around 3,600 pounds of thrust, and combined they gave the Meteor a top speed of roughly 585 to 590 miles an hour, or 950 kilometers an hour if you think in that system. Now it's got a wingspan of 37 feet, and a length of 41 feet. And the sound? Think hairdryer in a thunderstorm. The Derwents have got a very distinctive high-pitched whine that makes sure that you never miss their arrival or their takeoff. Now, the T7 had a service ceiling of about 43,000 feet and a range of roughly 600 miles. Plenty for training flights over the UK, but probably not your first choice for a weekend away somewhere. Now, VZ634 served with the RAF. It spent its life helping pilots transition from piston to jet power in an era when flight speeds were doubling and safety margins were, well, let's say flexible, shall we? Despite being a trainer, the aircraft isn't exactly gentle in handling. It was educational, I've heard it described. It could be unforgiving if you didn't respect it, but for those who mastered it, it was the gateway for cutting-edge aviation at the time. Now, standing next to it, you do get a sense of the engineering leap it represented. If you think 10 years before, pilots were still flying wooden biplanes. Now they're climbing into pressurized cockpits and tearing through the sky at 600 miles an hour. So if you're into Cold War aviation, British engineering, or just enjoy the smell of kerosene in the morning, VZ634 is definitely worth a visit. Unfortunately, she's no longer flyable, so you don't get the lovely feel and sound of that jet. But she's a real workhorse and an insight into the dawn of the jet age. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the walk around, then hit the like button, subscribe for more videos, and tell me, would you trust a jet trainer with only one ejection seat? Let me know in the comments. See you soon for another video.